God answers prayers. Even when you think He ain't answering, God answers prayers. And He answers prayers in three different ways. It's either He's saying yes, or He's saying no, or He's telling you to wait. When God says yes, He blesses you with what you have been praying about and that which you need at the moment. When God says no, He's simply saying, no, my child, that's not what was meant for you. I have something better for you. And when God says wait, He means what He says. Wait, because I am preparing something amazing for you. Or I am preparing you for something amazing. Just be patient. It's cool to think that while you're praying, God is working fiercely behind the scenes to work out your situation. But what if the situation He needs to work out first is you? Do you feel that life is standing still? Does it seem that day after day nothing changes and that God has forgotten you? No, God hasn't forgotten about you. God hasn't forgotten about you. He is simply taking the time to prepare you for a special task, for a future opportunity. Because preparation along with obedience and service is part of God's process in the season of growth. Like Esther, we have to be prepared for our King, to be of help to His people. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. God's timing is a mystery. So if we start comparing the time we spend waiting with the time others spend, we're gonna be terribly frustrated and angry and end up disappointed. God has a unique design for each of our lives. And because He is a God of variety, our time of preparation and our season of growth will be unlike that of anyone else. While God prepares you, and it seems that time is standing still, it is helpful to remember whose we are and where we are. It is better to be standing still in His will than moving around at high speed outside of it. Anything you pray and ask for, you need to be prepared for it. Are you the woman praying for your boss to redeem you? Are you waiting for that dream job, that contract? Are you waiting on God for a child or for financial breakthrough? Don't just do nothing while waiting. Start preparing for that which you've been praying for. Prayer opens our eyes to what's going on around us, and it opens up our hearts and minds so we can see what is inside of us that we may need to change. Sometimes what needs to change is a habit, an attitude, our perspective, an unwillingness to let go, an unwillingness to move forward, or a desire to rush things on. Sometimes it's something you never realized was getting in the way. And oftentimes, God has to work out what's on the inside before He works out what is in the outside. And that's what you're praying for. Sometimes the things we ask for may be beyond our capability to handle. So we have to grow and become that person who is ready to receive them. I am a big believer that if you face new blessings with old habits, you'll end up doing the same things you always have. Because we don't always understand God's ways. At times we might think we are ready for anything. We've been reading the Word, we've been in prayer, we've been listening to good teaching. What else do we have to do? We have to believe that God knows what He is doing while we go through the preparation process. And then you have to know that the tendency to want to know about everything that's going on can be detrimental to your Christian walk. When most of us need to grow into the area of trusting God instead of focusing on the when. Proverbs 6 verse 9 says, "A man's mind plans his ways, but the Lord directs his steps and makes them sure." Proverbs 20 verse 24 also says, "Man's steps are ordered by the Lord. How then can a man understand his way?" When God directs our path, He sometimes leads us in ways that don't make sense to us. So we are not always going to understand everything. If we try to reason out everything, we are going to experience struggle, confusion, and misery. But there's a better way. Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6 says, "Lean on, trust in, and be confident in the Lord with all your heart and mind, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding. In all your ways, know, recognize, and acknowledge Him, and He will direct and make straight and plain your path." God causes things to happen at exactly the right time. Your job is not to figure out when, but to make up your mind that you won't give up until you cross the finish line and are living in the radical, outrageous blessings of God. I also believe that God will withhold something He wants to give you if your heart is not in a place to rightly receive His blessings, especially in a way that will bring more glory to Him. One way to know if you're truly seeking this blessing for the glory of God or just for your selfish pleasure is if you are truly willing to love God and serve Him, even if He says no to that your special prayer request. What is God preparing for you? You might have some indications about the future as you move through your seasons. It could be a gradual revelation where little by little you see your growth. It could be a complete mystery, one which you have no choice but to walk by faith. But if you want good things to happen, you want greatest dreams to be fulfilled, you want the greatest answers to prayers, and that your deepest desires you've ever had come to pass, then start preparing for that blessing. Because there is an amazing power in preparation. While you're praying, God is preparing. Yes, He's working on you before He answers that prayer. You see, your blessings are already prepared while you were predestined. God is not preparing the blessing for you. Your blessings are ready. He is preparing you for the blessing. "My thoughts are nothing like your thoughts," says the Lord, "and my ways are far beyond anything you could imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." So keep in mind that everything you are praying for, you must be asking God to prepare you for it. And He is the master of preparation.